The Red Hood Ascension event is finally here in DC Dark Legion, and I'm going to take you through that event in this video, but we're also going to talk about a little bit of quality of life from the update that we got today in the game. This is going to be a little bit of a rapid fire experience. There a lot of decent little things that they added, but nothing to really like sit there and talk about too much that I can think of. So they made some updates to the hangar. They increased the apocalypse level cap by 110 levels. They've got some new milestone rewards for increasing your apocalypse level as well. And then they increased the vehicle enhancement level cap by 20 levels. That one's a little bit more difficult. That's the one that you're going to be using your fire pit afterburners for. Now, they've also made some updates to the anti-crime network and training simulator. They added 5 new levels for each resource type in anti-crime network, and they also added 100 new levels to training simulator. I think that should go up to about 1,700 now. So anyone who was already at the end, you're going to have a little bit more of a challenge. I talked to someone who spends a decent amount on the game and got to around 1640 or 1650, and it was a hard stop. I think he said that the enemy squad was about 50 million power, if that puts things into perspective for you. So, definitely going to be a challenge to get to the end of that now. And I think that was kind of their idea, was to try to, stop all the whales in their tracks. So we'll see how that goes over the coming weeks. We've got Ultimate Battle for Gotham new honorary awards. So at the end of the final Ultimate Battle for Gotham, so when you're at the end of the 4-week series, there's going to be some awards that your president is going to be able to distribute out to players based on your server's final ranking in the group. They've added a league poll within the game. We might jump over there and take a look and see if we can figure out where that is. They added some voice actor information to your champion screen. So if you're into that sort of thing, if you like lore and you like all the kind of like social aspect of the development of the game, you'll be able to see that voice actor information. Nice to get those credits into the game, in my opinion. They made a couple of very small iterative changes to Guardian Challenge, GKR, Gotham, and Ultimate Battle for Gotham. And really, it's just they've made it where all battle reports for each building's defender can now be viewed. And then they've also updated building names to make them easier to tell apart. We'll have to go in and see what they're talking about there the next time we have a Battle for Gotham. They made some improvements to the gear system. At least I would call these quality of life improvements. You can now filter gear by faction tag on the gear deconstruction screen, which makes it a lot easier for you to decide whether you want to keep certain gear or not. I know this is something that I've struggled with because I was saving like Amazon's gear, for example, or Justice League Dark gear before we got access to Swamp Thing. So really nice that they added that. It's going to be a lot easier to buy or sell gear, I guess deconstruct it. They improved the ordering of gear in the gear list, and then they updated the logic used to select gear during Quick Equip. I've noticed some issues with that where you could hit the Quick Equip button and there's not like anything on the screen that tells you can do an upgrade, and it would like switch the faction tag. Like if it was a faction tag that didn't apply to a champion, it would switch it to another piece of gear that was basically the same thing. Notice some really weird discrepancies with it. So hopefully that fixes that and makes it a lot better for people who don't really want to manually change their gear around. There have been some additional improvements in other areas of the game. So the champion appointment system, our base appointment system as we formerly knew it, they've obviously been trying to make some changes to fix the negative or the issues that we had with it in the first place. Now legendary or higher champions can get work bonuses in 2 designated rooms instead of 1. So you're going to have a lot more optionality in who you're going to put where. I think, again, that's another positive change that they've made, because now you should be able to just one-click rest, one-click add to a base appointment, and it should kind of like, it gives the AI or the computer a little bit more information to work on. They finally added Donna Troy into the game to be obtained by methods other than the Requiem store. So the bleed, mother boxes, daily bundles, and custom or random mythic shards. I can confirm that the custom and random mythic shards do work for her. Haven't pulled her in mother boxes or the bleed or anything else like that, but I was able to get her into the yellow stars with the horde that I had been saving up for months to try to get her leveled up. I'm not sure that's a good decision. On a side note, we've seen that she's not really the greatest champion in the world, but the idea is that, with a fully built Amazons team, that she might actually be able to provide some support for Death Metal Wonder Woman. So we'll find that out. We'll be testing. I know there are some folks who have already maxed her out as well, so I'll probably be working with them to see if there is some level of sense to trying to build her up. And I'll probably be putting out some sort of a will or skip type video for Donna after we've made that determination. We've got level resets available for champions at level 580 or higher now using source energy gems. You could do it prior to level 580 before. I think up to 300 was free, and then 300 to 580 you'd have to pay source energy gems. Now all the way up through to 620 or 630, wherever you're at, you can now reset champions if you would like to. I think that's another positive change. We've got new colors for our character names in the game. They've improved screen visuals and pop-up messages for Supreme Commander and Search and Gather. All these improved screens and battle reporting, visuals, animations, all those things I think are pretty nice. They changed the visuals for Death Metal Wonder Woman. I think that's pretty cool. I think the last thing that I want to mention here is a couple of the fixes. They fixed an issue where Robin just really wasn't working. Like all of his slashes weren't happening. I think his first slash was happening, and then all the remaining slashes just weren't hitting. So it appears that they finally fixed it. They said they fixed it in another patch, but clearly it was not fixed. So I think they've finally gotten it. They've corrected a couple of statements. Like it says they corrected the level 5 effect of Swamp Thing's Spiritual Amp boost talent. You got a couple of other things. They corrected the attack bonus effect of Starfire's legacy piece, Tamarin Arc skill. Let me know in the comments if you use either of those champions and you've noticed a difference in their viability after these patches. Like I want to know whether their correction for Swamp Thing actually made his spiritual amp go down or up, or if it was just a visual bug. Same thing for the attack bonus effect for Starfire's legacy piece. We know that legacy piece was basically nerfed into the ground for anyone other than Starfire with one of the last patches. So curious whether that has made it worse or better for her. That's about it. I don't really want to talk too much about any of the others. You can definitely read through all the patch notes yourself. I really want to jump over to this What Remains of Jason Todd, the Red Hood Ascension event, and go through it a little bit with you. So you'll notice that you're going to get this photo of memories. The photo of memories is similar to like the clam or the pearl for Wonder Woman for her Mythic Ascension event. But the photo of memories will be used. It's a one-time use to upgrade Red Hood once you've completed the event. You'll also be getting a decent amount of other rewards by completing all the stages of the event. So you should get up to 83 legendary shards if you don't have Red Hood fully built up to 5 red as a legendary. So it's going to help you get to that point. It's going to help you kind of clear out the last couple of rungs of the red stars for Red Hood. We'll go ahead and enter the event. Now, I've been told that you can purchase the energy required for the event, so you're not going to be stalled out for multiple days like the Wonder Woman event. You have a 24-hour waiting period in between stages of the event, and it kind of takes you a few days to get it. So people who enjoy delayed gratification, can rejoice for that event. But for this one, you can literally just spend gems. I think somebody told me it was about 2,000 gems, and you can just purchase your way through the event and get it done all in one fell swoop. Now, this is going to be a free map exploration event. So you're going to be able to explore the area and go around and complete different quests within this area. And each time you complete them, you're going to be getting, looks like we got some side quests and then the main quest. So you'll be getting shards, mother boxes, all sorts of goodies for completing that. I I don't know that you're going to have to fully explore each area to complete the main quest. I think on the Wonder Woman event, you kind of had to clear most of it out, and you kind of will just from going around the map. I like to fully explore them to finish the events up, but to each their own. No, I'm not going to do a full playthrough of this event on screen. I will probably just kind of jump cut this around so that you can see anything that's special, anything that you need to know about the event. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of skip through most of the story here just so that you have kind of everything in one place, and then maybe I'll also make a little YouTube short or something like that to go through all the various important things that you need to know about the event as well. So as I mentioned, you're going to use this energy here to do a couple of different things. So we got to search for clues, and we'll collect clues from our surrounding. We're going to hit the search button. That is, it looks like it's going to require some energy. Yeah, we use 3 energy there to get that clue. We're going to go over here, and looks like we can search for and collect another clue. Again, you're spending energy to do that. We can also fight these mobs around us. If that little attack icon comes up on the screen, that means that you can attack that mob without having to fight them, which is really helpful if you're just trying to kind of push through the story. Okay, so we collected all 3 of the clues, so we're going to go talk to the lost soul here. It looks like we can probably go collect a treasure box, so we'll do that before we talk to the lost soul. And this is going to be similar to like your normal world map exploration where you can collect these additional items. Just to be thorough on this first one, I'm going to go all the way around and see if there's anything I can find that's out of the ordinary. Okay, so we were able to fight this mob. Like sometimes they're just kind of secret, they can show up, and we'll go ahead and collect this chest. So don't sleep on going around the map and doing everything before you go over and complete the quest. And that's really the basic game loop. All right, so let's go ahead and do this end of level boss fight. These should be pretty easy. You can see this is only level 110 with 5 white stars, so they're kind of making it where most anyone should be able to do the fights. This is sort of a Wonder Woman hyper carry, or Death Metal Wonder Woman hyper carry team that I've been messing around with. Should be pretty easy to clear this out. So there we go. All right, so that's really the main gameplay loop for the event. You're basically going to be searching for clues or completing little mini quests. You're going to get to kind of like an end of level boss fight that you'll have to fight, and then you'll go to the next area. It looks like this area we're going to have to spend even more energy for fight, so 7 energy here, and that's going to ramp up as you go, but we want to defeat these lost souls to gather clues, and we'll have to keep going around the world map. So it's really kind of the exact same gameplay loop, slightly different scenery, if you will, but pretty cool event. Again, I will come back once we've completed the rest of the quest lines, and if there's anything that's like a big roadblock that's worth mentioning, I'll talk about that. I do want to say I find it funny that for the Red Hood Ascension event, you can switch to other characters. I would probably rather just keep Red Hood because that's kind of the whole theme, but just want to point out that you can switch between characters if you would like. And I mean, it would be incredibly evil if you used Joker for this event, so just saying. So it looks like we can do a repair job here. Oh, okay, so there's a ferry. So we've got to get, basically this next phase is we're going to have to get these tokens, and we can get those gold coins from the world map. Looks like we've got some collection tasks that we can do here to get them. And oh, it looks like there's some on the ground here. So we'll go ahead and move down and grab those tokens, and then we will go back to the ferryman. The next thing that I embarrassingly want to point out here is that if you, on this energy purchase screen, if you're willing to spend the gems to buy additional energy, I just want to let you know that you can buy. I'm not going to do this again because I have way too much now, or at least I believe I do. But apparently, I spent 10,000 gems instead of 1,000. Once you click this buy and use the 100, it's going to take you to another screen where you can buy, instead of just buying 10 energy, you can spend 1,000 gems for I think 100, and then you can spend 10,000 for 1,000. So please be aware that you can definitely way overspend on gems here, and it could put you out if you do so. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to have to probably ask Naira or somebody else to see if I can get a refund for any additional energy that I have left over. So we'll see how that goes. But hopefully that can be a lesson for everybody else. Okay, so we can submit the gems to the ferryman now, and that opens up a bridge we can cross. So we'll do that. And then basically we're just going to go to the next phase. All right, so now you have to talk to Dr. Fate. And then when you do, you end up having to fight him, and it costs a decent amount of energy to do so. We're going to fight this Justice League Dark team. Should be pretty easy to take them out. And then we'll move to the next phase. All right, so we just picked up the crowbar. That's funny. Maybe not funny, but now we're going to go recall the Batmobile. I guess we could pick up this chest first. Now you'll notice these little glyphs on the ground. It looks like these are definitely not necessary for completion of the story. So you can skip them if you're trying to conserve energy, but I've got a little extra because I'm an idiot, so I'm just doing it anyway. You get some dollars, some cash for your account for doing those. It's not a massive amount, so definitely not worth it at all. But looks like you do in some cases get those Red Hood legendary shards, so I guess maybe it is worth it after all. But yeah, you can spend energy on those as well. And then we've got our childhood memory here that we can submit. You can submit it and wait 10 minutes, or you can get instant gratification and just use your gems. So we'll go ahead and do that and jump into the Batmobile. Now this is really cool. We've got a little puzzle. I have never seen this picture before in the game, so kind of neat to be getting a new picture that we can put together. I know some people really like these. We'll just place these parts in the right order. That's really neat. We've got, I guess, early Jason Todd stealing Batmobile's tire. So now we're going to fight Dr. Fate again. And it looks like this one is a pretty easy battle as well. Probably going to be the toughest one yet for lower level players, non-spenders who are trying to complete this. But, you know, if you have Red Hood at 5 red stars legendary, you probably have a decent enough account to be able to take care of this, honestly. Okay, so we have another ferryman situation here. We collected the gold coins. We're going to give them to the ferry person. We're going to go to the next level. Pretty simple. 8 minutes if you want to wait it out, or we can do the instant method here. Not a ton of gems, so light spenders, heavy spenders, you can get away with it. If you're a non-spender, there's no reason not to just wait it out. All right, so now we have to fight Dark Robin, Dark Nightwing, and Dark Batman, it looks like. And these are going to be pretty standard fights, so we'll skip through those. We could just use all the Robins to fight Batman, I guess. So when you beat the Dark Bat family champions, it looks like some of these Jokers will pop up that you can fight for, again, additional energy. Or it also appears that you can just go directly to Arsenal, save some energy, talk to him, pick up the memory shard, and go to the next phase. But again, if you're trying to maximize the event and get all the resources you possibly can, you are going to need to spend that additional energy to do the rest of these fights. Okay, so it looks like we are battling Joker now. 25 energy to get to this battle. And, you know, it would be cool if Joker had a crowbar as his weapon here, but I guess that would take a little extra programming. We're going to go with our little Bat family lineup and see how they do. Looks like it makes quick work of this group. So again, impressions so far, it's not going to be difficult for low level, like non-spenders and light spenders to complete this event. It's really just a freebie, and I think a really fun PvE mode to kind of, you know, spend. It's probably going to take about an hour, maybe less. You know, if you're a non-spender and you are not skipping with gems to move to the next level, definitely going to take a little bit longer because you're going to have to come back and complete the different like fairy pieces and other things like that. Okay, so after you beat Joker, you're going to pick up this Robin costume. You're going to put it in this little chamber, and you can either submit and wait for 20 minutes, or you can instantly move to the next step. And now we can submit these Robin's memory fragments. And it looks like we've got another little art puzzle here, so we'll put that together. Pretty neat. Batman looking at the Robin costume. So we had to collect some more gold coins, and again, we've got a 12-minute wait here. Definitely well over the hour mark if you were counting all of the durations that it takes to do all the fairy pieces, or the fairy quest, I should say. And I think that's fine. You know, this is a way faster event than the Wonder Woman event, where you basically would play for 20-30 minutes and then you had nothing to do for an entire day. I do like the fact that if you want to spend ahead, you can go ahead and just purchase all of the gems necessary, or the energy necessary to complete the event in one fell swoop. But otherwise, you're going to be able to kind of play through this on your own term. We should be getting pretty close to the end here. We've got Red Hood talking to Ra's al Ghul. If you don't know much of the lore, Ra's al Ghul's Dionysium pit basically saves Red Hood and brings him back to life. So, little resurrection story. And this is really cool. We've got Artemis making an appearance. I really love when they do this, because typically, like any of these characters that show up in the story mode, I think you have a really good chance of seeing them in the game fairly soon afterwards. So really hope that Artemis comes into the game, especially because I've invested so much into Amazon. So really cool to see her there. So we picked up another memory shard. We're going to talk to Artemis here again. And now we've got to fight this, it says undead ghost. I don't see an undead ghost, but it's whatever. Another JLD comp there. And we get this memory shard. And then we've got another battle, it looks like, with Raish. Other 30 energy for that one. All right, so we collected Lazarus Pit water, and we've got to recall the Lazarus Pit. There's a couple of other fights I'm going to do really quick, and then we'll go back. I think we're pretty close to the end of the event. All right, so we can recall the Lazarus Pit here. We can submit and wait 30 minutes, or we can use our gems to kind of expedite that. So we'll do this, and I think we should be pretty close to the end. So we'll submit these memory shards, and it looks like we get one more pretty picture to put together. This one is Raish. That is a really cool picture as well. I hope that these are released as part of our content creator fan kit, or just like released into the general public and at large, because these are pretty cool little things that you can make, like a background on your phone or something like that if somebody wanted to. All right, so we just completed the Red Hood Ascension event. Super excited about getting that taken care of, and we will go ahead and ascend our Red Hood as well. I do want to point out before we do that, I purchased an additional 1,000 energy. I think partially stupidly, but also I'm glad I was able to do this video with it at least. But I pretty much completed everything in this event, all the little side quests, things that you can do, and it took me roughly 750 of that energy. So it is going to cost, like if you want to just max everything out immediately, it's going to cost you around 7,500 gems to do that. So keep that in mind for sure. We got all the side quests completed, you can see there. And we're just going to go to our Red Hood, take one last look at legendary Red Hood here. We'll take a look at the power. We got 736K, and I don't have much force invested in him at all, just to give you an idea. I do have full tag synergy gear on him, but let's go ahead and use the picture to ascend him. The tags are going to remain the same. We're going to go from 5 red star legendary to 5 purple star mythic here. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything saying that his kit was going to change at all. But let's see. All right, I took a second to take a look at his kit, and it looks like the only difference, which is an important difference here, and it might actually keep him alive in the future, is if you look at his Strafe Strive, his ultimate, he leaps to the target area and strafes, dealing physical damage equal to a percentage of his attack to enemies within range. I'll take a look at the upgraded skill here, and you'll see that he is untargetable during the leap. What we've seen with the legendary version of Red Hood is that he pretty much dies as soon as he ultimates. It's almost like the Atom, where Atom just uses his ultimate and then he disappears from the battle. But tragically, Red Hood was even worse than that, in my opinion. Being untargetable during the leap, I'm curious to see some testing with some folks who heavily invest in Red Hood. I know a few people that I can talk to about this, but might actually be worth using with a Nightwing comp now. So super excited about that. But enough talking. We're going to ascend him now. Oh, that's really cool. That's cool. I wonder if you can trigger that if you click on him. I guess not. With Death Metal Wonder Woman, if you click on her, she will do like a little animation. That was really cool, riding in on the bike like that. But that's it for the Red Hood Ascension. You can also see the power number went up pretty significantly to 900,000. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I'm definitely going to try to do some testing with Red Hood. We'll do probably some Bat Family Realm of Fate as well. But really cool event. Hope you enjoyed my playthrough or like guide walkthrough, and that it was helpful for you if you got stuck on anything. I don't think you will. Pretty simple event, but a pretty nice one, especially given all the other crazy things that have happened over the last couple of months. So that's going to be it. Let me know in the comments down below if you've already done some testing with Red Hood. What do you think about the event? Did you enjoy it? Are you excited for the next Mythic Ascension? Let me know what you think it's going to be. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You'll get notifications for the next time that I put out DC Dark Legion videos. And if not, I still hope to see you on the next one.